What's something your ex did that still makes you shake your head? My ex once drove 45 minutes in the wrong direction, on purpose just to make a point after I asked her to take the wheel during a road trip. I was 24 when I started dating this girl, and we stayed together for a little over a year. At first, things felt exciting. She was funny, spontaneous, and we had great chemistry. But over time, I started to notice things. She always had to be right, really stubborn, never apologized, even when she was clearly in the wrong. On top of that, she could be incredibly petty. If we argued about something small, she'd either give me the silent treatment or act extra affectionate like nothing happened. I think she believed being sweet afterward made up for the disrespect. We also argued over dumb things constantly, nothing too serious, just a slow buildup of tension that came out in little jabs or sarcastic remarks. At the time, I brushed it off, thinking every couple fights. But looking back, those red flags were way too loud. We planned a weekend trip to a beach resort about 8 hours away, our first trip together. I was hyped, booked the place, packed early, filled the tank. She just tossed her bag in and got in the car. I drove for 6 hours straight while she scrolled through TikTok, napped with her hoodie over her face, and was on aux for a bit. Eventually I asked, "Hey, can you take over for a bit? I just need to rest my eyes." She sighed and said, "I don't feel like driving." I said, "I've been behind the wheel all day," and that kicked things off. She hit me with, "Well, it was your idea to drive. You didn't ask me to split it ahead of time." After a bit of back and forth, she finally said, "Fine," and got behind the wheel, slamming the seat back, messing with the mirrors, making sure I knew she wasn't happy about it. A few minutes after she started driving, I started to doze off. Well, I was kinda half asleep. A few more minutes go by, and I could feel something was off. I checked the GPS and realized we weren't going toward the resort. We were going backward. She had literally taken a turn that put us back on the highway we came from. I asked what was going on, and she just said she was doing exactly what I asked, driving. That was her way of making a point. She knew it would annoy me, and she went out of her way to make sure I'd feel it. She just deliberately wasted our time to prove she didn't want to be behind the wheel. And honestly, it worked. I was too stunned to argue. I told her to pull over, took the keys, and drove the rest of the way in silence. When we got to the resort, everything looked perfect. The kind of place we should have been hyped about, but the mood had shifted. I was distant, still thinking about that drive. We didn't talk about what happened. That was normal for us. If something serious happened, she'd act like it didn't. She became more clingy, more affectionate. Like her way of smoothing things over was pretending nothing was wrong. I played along, but my head wasn't in it anymore. That whole weekend, I kept thinking, if she could go out of her way to sabotage something so small, just to feel like she won, what else would she be willing to do? We broke up a few months later over something completely unrelated. But that trip was when the relationship really ended. I just didn't know it yet. I also realized that I needed to communicate better. I held things in because I didn't want to argue, but all it did was bottle up resentment. She never said sorry for what she did, and I never said how much it messed with me. She thought everything was fine because I stayed quiet, but deep down, I'd already checked out. That trip was supposed to bring us closer. Instead, it showed me exactly who I was dealing with.